O Aventuras na História está hoje no pavilhão japonês do Parque de Ibirapuera, em São Paulo, a convite da Ubisoft. O local, que conta com a arquitetura típica do país asiático, inclusive com diversas amostras da flora regional, recebe um evento temático do novo jogo Assassin's Creed Shadows, que se passa no Japão do século XVI. Por aqui, conversamos com Brooke Davis e Simon Lemain Courtois, diretores do jogo e responsáveis por coordenar a formulação da história, personagens e combates. Acompanhe agora!
First of all, thank you guys for talking with us. Assassin's Creed always aims to almost faithfully depict historical periods. What was the research process like for recreating 16th century Japan? What were the main sources used for this research?
I don't think there's any sources we didn't use on this one. It was architecture, it was history text, it was experts from universities, it was museums, it was research, I think field trips for some of our members. I think we did everything we could to have the most information we can. And yeah.
Oh, it's something I love so much about the job. It's to come to work as a student and get to spend this time researching. We have a history director, Stephanie Ann, and she worked with a team of historians and experts and researchers to really provide a huge breadth of material for the team to work with. And then on the narrative team, we would use this research and look for ideas, and then often go back and ask for more research because we find a historical figure or a detail that's interesting, and then we say, okay, can we find out more about this so we can see what we can do with them? And then even after the writing is done in the scripts, we then had an additional step of consulting internally with expert groups at Ubisoft, Osaka and Tokyo, and then also externally we had our scripts read for historical issues, cultural issues, language issues, and that feedback was given to the writing team, and then we got to incorporate that as well.
That's amazing. We could see for so many eyes to bring the best. How did, actually I want to talk just about this, how did you work with the historians and experts to ensure that the culture, the architecture, even the social customs were rightly represented?
It's putting a lot of hours in discussions and review process and validations and all these things. It's a lot of good faith as well on all the people working for it. We know that our story is still a work of fiction, so we are based in historical events, but we do the Assassin's Creed magic through these events. But for the things that really happen and are known to history in Japan, we wanted to make sure that we get it right, we get all the details right, and then we see what is already could be interpreted in different accounts, and then that's where we can insert some of our fiction and narrative unique to Assassin's Creed.
Entering the story with the fiction together.
Yes.
The team comes in, and just brings all of their
now I can understand perfectly
creativity.
how you guys do this. And Assassin's Creed Shadows now have two main characters, and I want to know about them.
Sure.
Well,
go ahead.
So we have our dual protagonists, Naoe and Yasuke. Naoe is a fictional character, but she's the imagined daughter of a historical figure, Fujibayashi Nagato, who is a legendary shinobi. So it gives you an idea of her inheritance of her shinobi skills, and her values come from her father and her community as well. She's somebody who's quite fiery, and we see that in game. And then we have Yasuke, who, as we know, comes to Japan as an outsider, gives us an external perspective on this historical period that has so much complexity with internal and external conflict. So he really represents this external perspective, and he's a character who is just our realization director described him as a consummate student, and I love that description of him because he's somebody who's always watching and listening, and we see that play out in the life that he builds for himself over the course of the game.
And that the other side of those two characters is that it allows us to cater to different playstyles in a very definitive way. So for Naoe, smaller, much more less powerful physically. She cannot overpower her enemies, but she can strike from the shadows, outmaneuver them, be faster than them. Whereas Yasuke is the complete reverse. He's very tall, he's very big, he's very heavy, and he brings a physicality to the game that is mostly about power and the ability to just take damage and not move. So he's very straightforward, very stable, whereas now he's very acrobatic and very nimble, and that gives us two very complex characters that are complementary. And if we only have one, the game would not feel the same. Having the two characters embody two different points of view, philosophies, gameplay styles gives us a very interesting, I think, dual protagonist approach.
It's like yin-yang in that way. They
Yes.
are different ways to play this game. Well, the Japan of that era was full of conflicts, fragile alliances, remarkable historical figures, as you were saying. How does the game's narrative balance the fiction of the Assassin's Creed story and the Templars with the real historical events?
I don't want to give any spoilers,
Okay.
so I can't go too into.
So very, very well.
Okay, that's enough.
No.
The next question is about the gameplay. That Assassin's Creed gameplay always reflects the skill and the context with the abilities of the protagonists. So I want to know how the tactics of the shinobi and the samurais were integrated in the protagonist's skills.
Yeah. There's so much there that I don't know if I can easily simplify it, but so, like I said, Yasuke is very grounded, so his gameplay, he really shines when he's 2 feet on the ground, having a sword or any weapon in his hands and dueling directly. Now, he can do more than that, for sure, so players should try and branch out with Yasuke, but his main strength are direct combat. He's a trained samurai in our game. He's generally stronger and bigger than most enemies you will encounter in Japan, so he has a very striking presence on the battlefield, which means that when he takes damage, he doesn't back down. He just takes it and then hits forward. So he's a very a force of nature that keeps plowing ahead. With Naoe, she needs to look around and have a plan of attack. I need to take this one big guy down first. He's too strong for me now. How do I do it? Do I distract this guard? Do I pull him away? Do I knock him out? There's always many, many ways to play with Naoe, but it's always implying that you need to look around, take a breather, and try to have a plan and execute on that plan. And if things go wrong with Naoe, it's generally better to get back up on a rooftop, break line of sight, and find a way to re-engage. A little bit like Batman would. So she's more of a stealthy, attacks from many, many angles, whereas Yasuke will come at you face to face. And that's a very big contrast in all of their mechanics, all their combat, all their abilities.
Guys, thank you very much for taking this time with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.